Topic 1.1 Physics and Scientific Methodology. Subtopic Introduction to Physics. The word physics is derived from the Greek word meaning nature. Indeed, physics is a branch of natural science that deals with the properties and interactions of matter and radiation. Because physics is concerned with such fundamental ideas as these, it is generally considered to be the most basic of all the sciences. Subtopic Scientific Methodology. It is observed that bees are attracted to flowers. This statement is taken to be true to serve as a premise or starting point for further reasoning and arguments. This is called an axiom. Then a natural question arises: why are bees attracted to flowers? This is our first step of the scientific method. An observation is followed up by a question. One may guess that bees are attracted by the color of flowers. Another person may say that bees are attracted by the nectar in the flowers, the more reasonable guess. A third individual may offer another point of view that bees are attracted by both. All guesses are hypotheses. A scientific hypothesis can be tested in laboratory with the help of an experiment. First, these are let inside a glass chamber containing artificial flowers. Second, bees are let inside another glass chamber containing real flowers. Further observations are noted down. The first hypothesis turns out to be true because bees are indeed attracted by the color. In the second setup, bees sit on real flowers and remain there for long. Thus, the second hypothesis is also true. After our hypotheses have been tested, it is time to formulate laws, theories, or conclusions on the basis of result of the experiment. In our simple example, bees are attracted to flowers due to both color and nectar. A law is a formula which describes the physical situation. Thus, Newton's law of universal gravitation is used only to calculate the magnitude of the gravitational force between two objects of mass separated by a given distance. Newton's law of universal gravitation can also be used in a model so as to represent any local physical phenomena, such as falling of an apple or skydiving. Thus, a model is generally a simulation, but Newton's law does not attempt to explain how or why gravity works. In science, a theory is a well-substantial explanation of the natural world that can incorporate all facts, laws, inferences and tested hypotheses. So, Einstein's theory of general relativity explains correctly why things fall, why laws rarely change, theories get modified frequently as new evidence is discovered. The steps of scientific method: one, observation; number two, hypothesis; number three, experiment; number four, theory or law; number five, prediction. Observation. The first step in scientific method is to make careful observation to collect data. The data may be drawn from a simple observation, or they may be obtained from experiments. Hypothesis. From an analysis of these observations and experimental data, a model of nature is hypothesized. The hypothesis is an assumption what is made in order to draw out and test its logical or empirical consequences. We should be able to confirm it by testing. Testing of the hypothesis is called the experiment. Experiment. An experiment is a controlled procedure carried out to discover, test, or demonstrate something. An experiment is performed to confirm that the hypothesis is valid. If the results of the experiment do not support the hypothesis, the experimental procedure must be checked. If the procedure is alternate and results still contradict the hypothesis, then the original hypothesis must be modified. Another experiment is then designed to test the modified hypothesis. Theory. If the experimental results confirm the hypothesis becomes a new theory about some specific aspect of nature. A scientifically acceptable general principle based on observed facts. Prediction. After a careful analysis of the new theory, a prediction about some unknown aspect of nature can be made.